Hello everybody, good morning and welcome to the United Stand. This is your latest Manchester United news and transfer news, and we've got a huge update for you in relation to Rafael Varane and his future, hopefully, well I'm not even going to say hopefully, at Manchester United. Massive update. It's from a tier 1 source in Spain saying that Rafael Varane will join Manchester United. Also got one of these to show you. I'll be showing you that in a minute. It's not what you think. It's not what you think. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, lots to talk about. Obviously, today is going to be Sancho Day. What time do we think he will be released? Sounds like he's getting out of prison. What time do you think we'll release that? Rashford update on him. Trippier, big update from Romano from Barella about Barella as well, and a few other things we need to get into. But first of all, let me just draw your attention to Surfshark. Surfshark are sponsoring the show this morning. Big shout out to Surfshark. You may already know that Surfshark is a VPN, which is a virtual private network. One of the things best about Surfshark is their data protection services, making sure private messages, photos, videos, and other sensitive material is protected. My personal favourite feature about Surfshark, though, is that and I think you'll be most interested in, is that you can change your location on Netflix or any other location-specific streaming service, so that if you're in London, you can say that you're in New York or anywhere else and get access to those location-specific based streaming services that you pay for, but in a different location, which can give you different access to different content. You can also use Surfshark across as many devices as you like, even if they're used at the same time. So you can be on your phone and your laptop or your notepad or whatever, and it's available on every device you can think of, like iOS, Android, Fire TV, etc. And because Surfshark are super nice, they're giving you, the United Stand viewers, 83% off and 3 months free when you use the code United Stand. So links as always in the video description, and thanks again to Surfshark for sponsoring the show. Do check that out through the link in the video description, and it says it's at the side of me as well. But let's move on with the show. We're going to be talking about Rafael Varane. Rafael Varane will join Manchester United. Let me just give you this update, because this is the most important thing. Rafael Varane is joining Manchester United. United's offer to Real Madrid will arrive in the next few days. This is coming from @ElTransista, which is a Spanish outlet, and those in the know would class this as a tier 1 source. So Romano is a tier 1 source. This source would be classed as a tier 1 source. This is very, very big news this morning, that Rafael Varane is joining Manchester United, and United's offer to Real Madrid will come through in the next few days. Talks are still ongoing between the clubs, but Manchester United and then another update from Julian Maynard, who is French, is saying that Manchester United are preparing to make their first proposal to Real Madrid for Rafael Varane. Madrid do not intend to oppose Varane's departure if the right offer comes in. So they are two very, very significant updates in relation to Rafael Varane this morning, that he will join Manchester United, and then it looks like a bid is going to go in through the next few days. Now this is interesting, because if anyone follows me on Twister, don't follow me on Twitter, I'm crap at that game. If anyone follows me on Twitter, I said yesterday morning, before the morning show, 90%. That's all I put out. I can be a cryptic idiot like that sometimes, but that's because I'm very, very confident about this deal. And it's funny, last night some other people were starting to say, yeah, this is looking like it's really good. Well, I said it yesterday morning, and that's because of the information that we get, and I'm very, very confident it's going to happen. The bid's got to go in. United could still mess this up, but the points, we're in a very similar situation to, I would liken this to the situation we were into last year, when Sancho and Romano and Close and 90% Club was born, because the player wants to come, United want the player, but it's the bid. And that's why 90% Club is up and running with Varane, because it was with Sancho, but we still messed it up. So United could still mess this deal up, but Varane wants to come to United. The expectation is that he's going to come to United. United want Varane, certainly Solskjaer does. United have now just got to deal with Real Madrid, who apparently aren't going to stand in the way as long as a decent offer comes in. So that is from a tier 1 Spanish source, that Rafael Varane will join Manchester United, and effectively watch out over the next few days as a bid goes in. Real Madrid want close to 60 million euros, which if someone wants to do a calculator, I believe is around 50 million pounds. I think United want to pay around 40 million pounds, which is 50 million euro. I think 50 million euro is about right, but if they can get it cheaper, fantastic. Hi Mark, can you call me a prat because it's my birthday. Love all your videos, says Sean O'Sullivan. Sean, you're a prat. If you want to be a prat, you're a prat on your birthday. Well done. How's it going, says Renate. But happy birthday to Sean O'Sullivan. I'm sure people will say that as well. But really, really good news around Varane. There is also news today that is coming out, which I'm sure people have seen. Sancho Day. What time will Sancho be announced? We'll find out about that. But as TA says, the Manchester United kit is out. Look, bit of debate going on social media this morning. Lots of people putting it out there. I personally don't agree with that, but that's just my opinion. I think that, you know, not a penny more, Glazers out. As I said on Twitter, if it wasn't for the fans of football, United would have us playing the World Series against Arsenal 3 times a year in Australia. You know, that's the Super League. That's what they wanted to do. So I'm not changing my stance on the Glazers just because they buy Jadon Sancho or they bring a new kit out. They've got to do a hell of a lot more than that. But if you want to go and buy the kit or you like the new kit, that's up to you. Of course, I've got one to show you, which I've been and bought today. Let me just show it for you. Here we go. You can see, here it is. You've been bantered. It's not really. I mean, to be honest with you, this is the United Stand kit of a couple of years ago. Actually, let me just get you this one, because this is a smaller one. This is my daughter's one. This is the United Stand kit of a couple of years ago. And there are massive similarities to the current United one. It's, you know, obviously it hasn't got a United badge on, but we've got the red stripes on the shoulders there, the white bits on the arm. Obviously we had a different, what did we have? Kit locker was on our arm, and then obviously a different thing there. So very, very similar kit, to be fair. Definitely not going to go anywhere near the new kits, not in a million years. But that's a bit of banter for you. Some would say that's better. I mean, I tell you what, I don't know what the new kit's like. From what I've seen of the pictures of the new kit, it looks very similar to this. And these are not, you know, they're very thin material as well. So, you know, United kits in the past. But look, no way am I going to get a new one. United do tend to send out the kit to influencers and people like that for them to wear it. I tell you what, it's going to take a very brave United influencer to put that new kit on. Up to them if they want to do it. Not that kit, but and also, can I just clarify? These are not for sale anywhere. We don't sell them anymore, so it's got nothing to do with anything like that. There you go. So they I don't think they've copied our kit at all. But there are similarities. It's Adidas, though, isn't it? At the end of the day. And fair play to that, but yeah, it would take a very, very brave Manchester United fan or influencer to wear that new kit and go this, that, and the other, because you really, really haven't read the room. It's up to people if they want to buy the kit, of course it is, but and a lot of people do like the kit, but yeah, it is out today. You can't buy the United Stand kit. That was not the point of it. I just thought it'd be a bit of a funny banter to make people think I've gone and bought the kit, which I haven't. Rafi and Harry at centre back, says Ben Sayers. Basically, it was a bit of banter, and I wonder how many people actually thought for a moment I did have it. What time will Jadon Sancho be wearing that new kit? Is the thing that I'm interested in. So the new kit was announced at 9 a.m. this morning by United Stand, but not by United Stand. God no! Imagine if we did that. The new kit's out and I'm wearing it. Oh God, no! I'd get absolute pelters for that. No, the new kit was announced this morning at 9 a.m. UK time. They've also announced the new sponsor, TeamViewer. So they will announce Sancho today. I think it will be... Well, I don't even want to say what time I think it will be, because it makes it sound like, you know, United might listen and go, don't do it at that time. But I think maybe... I'm thinking tea time. You know, 5 p.m, 6 p.m. But you never know with United. It could be any time, you know. Anyway, so let's get back into the news, because we are a news show, banter aside. In a way, United will love that, because it has sort of promoted their new kit, actually. Never forget the damage the Glazers have caused, says Zed Jamie. Well, Glazers Out's trending on Twitter, which I think is a positive thing, because we shouldn't forget, and they've got a hell of a lot more work to do. And look, as I've said many a times, I do believe in second chances, but they've got a hell of a lot to do. There's so many things going wrong at that club. Look at the women's team. It's a mess, an absolute embarrassment what's going on with our women's team. It's an embarrassment how the club, you know, the stadium is leaking. It's an embarrassment that we were going to go in the Super League. It's an embarrassment that we're so far behind Manchester City. So there's loads that the Glazers can't solve this by buying Jadon Sancho and Rafael Varane. There's a hell of a lot more they've got to do, and I hope they appreciate that. A hell of a lot more they've got to do, and we must keep the pressure on to force that change. Hey Marky, do you feel we will miss the Varane deal up and take a whole year to sign him, just like we did with Bruno and Sancho? Love your content, says Tapua. I don't. So yeah, let's get back on track. Rafael Varane will join United. This is coming in from a tier 1 Spanish source that Manchester United will sign Rafael Varane, that he wants to come to Manchester United, and this will be happening in the next few days with an official bid going in. So let's see what happens over the next few days, but it's getting stronger and stronger. And look, it's not my job to convince you to do anything. Some of you will be buying that kit today. That's your choice. I'm not going to demand that you don't do it. But I'm not going to demand that you believe that Varane's coming. But I have been saying this. I said it yesterday morning. 90% club, arise. And we're getting closer and closer to this deal. Take into account the last week, there's been people saying people close to that deal would be stunned if it doesn't happen. So Real Madrid would have to do something stunning to turn it around. They'd basically have to double his wages, which they don't really want to do. So yeah, let's see how quick we can get that done. And as I said, in relation to time, is it really important how quick we get the Rafael Varane deal done? Only in the fact that we need it done by the end of July. As long as he's back, as long as he's at United's training ground at the start of August when Harry Maguire's back, that's the most important thing. I'd like to see him come in now. But does he really benefit from playing with the youth team against Brentford or Preston or anything like that? It's being back with Harry Maguire and working with Harry Maguire that's the most important thing for Varane, and that means the start of August. So we have got a couple of weeks to work on this deal. Hey Mark, can we get a shout out for the people from South Africa which is experiencing extreme looting and destruction, says Grant Pulteney. Yeah, a few people have mentioned that, Grant. Obviously thoughts and prayers with everybody in South Africa. We know that there's a massive Manchester United fan contingent and always has been in South Africa, so our thoughts and prayers are with you in these testing and trying times, of course. Mark, will you forgive the Glazers if they buy Sancho, Varane, Rice and Ronaldo and keep Pogba this window? No, you can't be bought on one window. That's like a relative of yours being pissed off, pissing you off, and then one Christmas they go and buy you loads and loads of stuff. There are people out there that would go, I love you, Auntie, you're the best. But actually, what about the last 16 years of being an arsehole? So one Christmas doesn't solve years of mistakes. 2-3 Christmases maybe. Sell the shirt, Mark. It looks class. We'd gladly buy that over the kit, says Chubba. No, I'm not one of those. I'm not going to invent a kit to sell with green and gold or something like that. I think that's just There's a fine line, isn't there? There's a fine line. And people will say, well, you're wearing a hoodie that's for sale. But these hoodies and T-shirts have always been for sale from the United stand. That's nothing to do with Super Leagues and not a penny more and anything like that, is it? I'm not going to invent a kit. And that kit I showed you, we've had for 3 years. It just makes me laugh how it's very similar to ours. It won't be designed off ours. I'm just saying it is very similar, and I bet it's very similar material. One of our most talented women footballers, Lauren James, left for Chelsea. Such a disgrace this management is, says Anna Rudd. Well, not only that, we lost the manager as well, didn't we? Anyway, let's move on. I want to bring this in very, very quickly. Barella. Last night, a lot of people were talking about Barella on the 8 o'clock show. Well, Fabrizio Romano has come out and said that Barella is untouchable. Inter Milan will not sell him. There's no truth in Barella leaving Inter Milan, let alone coming to Manchester United. So forget about it. Forget about it. You got no chance. That's what you got. No chance. Mark, Phil Jones not seen in pre-season training, says J Ling's fan. He's probably still bloody injured. I mean, where is Phil Jones? It's like them books, Where's Wally? Just where is Phil Jones? He's been injured since March 2020. We're in bloody July 2021. Where is he? What's he doing? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Phil Jones, and let's not dwell on it too much. I'm not getting into arguments with people on Twitter. I actually quite like that person, and I don't understand why he's getting into a silly, petty little argument, because it's I don't run the account, so. And thanks to Michael TF Writer Let me just tell that. I'm not arguing. I don't like to. I don't like to get into arguments with fellow United fans. I just think it's so 2017, especially on social media. It's just clout chasing a lot of the time, isn't it? Let's have a look. Would disagree, Mark. I think the earlier we get Varane in, the better, as he needs to settle in English way and get used to it all. So when Harry is back, he isn't distracted by anything else. But he's just, oh yeah, look, the sooner we get him in, Mohamed, the better. But you know, we're not going to get him in tomorrow, is what I'm saying. He's not going to be playing on Sunday, and actually he's still on holiday. So I think as long as we get him in the next 2 weeks, because 2 weeks is still the 29th of July. So Vince McMahon Bridge, no chance in hell, says Dion B73. The Real Madrid line, somebody said, what do you think it will take for Real Madrid to let, you know, there was a chat there. Someone said, well, it's all well and good that people say that Varane's going to join United. Anil, I didn't see your super chat, so don't call me that. I'm the one who calls people a prat. Anil, you're a massive prat. Don't call me a prat, Anil, because you're a prat. See, now he's been called a prat. That'll make him feel a lot happier. The stance from Real Madrid is, as long as they get the offer that they want, they'll do the deal. So that's where we are with that. Just on Kieran Trippier, a little bit on Kieran Trippier as well. This is coming from Jonathan Schrager on Twitter, saying that Trippier would still like, well, Manchester United would like Trippier, Trippier would like United, but there's still no progress on that deal from a few weeks ago, which is that United wanted to get Trippier. And I think I'm correct in reading the room that would you like Kieran Trippier at Manchester United? I may as well ask the question, would you like Kieran Trippier at United? Because I've always felt that United fans would like Trippier at United as long as it was for 15 million, and that was what we initially thought. I don't know why we thought 15 million, because Atletico Madrid want at least double that. I don't want Trippier at United if we're paying 20 million. I just don't see... £20 million is a lot of money to Manchester United. We can 20 million to Chelsea and Man City is like 20p, but to Manchester United, 20 million is actually a lot. So I don't want us to spend £20 million on a backup right back. That would be, a combined 70 million on two right backs, and yet there's no investment on the midfield. The CDM is the position I want. I will keep saying it. I will keep saying it as long as you want me to say it. That this summer you can get Varane and Sancho and keep Pogba, but if we don't get a CDM, we'll still go into next summer, in my opinion, not complete. And I think Lampard, when he went into last season, couldn't sit there and go, I haven't got everything I want. He had more than enough. I don't think Pep ever goes into a season and goes, I haven't got everything I want. Manchester United, we seem to go into every season with at least two, maybe sometimes three, but certainly two positions in the first team that we haven't fulfilled. Like last season, we didn't get Sancho, so right wing was weak, and we still didn't get a centre-back, so centre-back was weak. This season, I think we go into it, we need a right winger, a centre-back and a CDM. Well, we've got the right winger in Sancho. We're hopefully getting the top-class centre-back in Varane. But we're all going to go into next season saying we haven't got a CDM. Therefore, there's an excuse. I don't think teams like Manchester United should be going into next season with an excuse. And I think we will go into next season. And AJ23 is right. CDM is a must. Asher says, does Ollie actually want one? Well, whether he wants one or not, it's not about what Ollie wants. It is about what Ollie wants because he's the manager, but it's also about what the fans think. The vast majority of fans of Manchester United feel we need a top-class centre defensive midfielder. So if we go into next year and we've already got that doubt, then you're not complete. And all I want to see is Manchester United going into next season complete. So you go into it and you go, look, Ollie's got everything he needs to compete. I don't think we're complete, so I don't think we can compete for the title. Because I don't think without a special... And McTominay's not a specialist CDM. Fred's not a specialist CDM. Pogba's not a specialist CDM. Matic is finished. We don't have a specialist centre defensive midfielder. So if we don't get one, I don't think this transfer window is a success. Whatever we do, if we don't get a CDM. And I hope that we win the title without doing that. But to me, it's the fundamental thing. I think Trippier would be a good signing if Tellez rumours are true and Williams on loan. He can play both left or right, says Mohammed. I don't think he's very good at left back, Mohammed. I think just because he played left back for England, I don't think he's very good there. I don't think he's very good there. He's got no left foot at all. It's all right saying Trippier can play at left back. I don't think he can. He's got no left foot. He's not a balanced left back at all. He's a make do. So I don't think that, and I don't think Tellez will go either. But just back on the CDM point, I don't know whether people follow me on Twitter at Mark Goldbridge. If you want to, I put a tweet out last night about Jorginho. He's won the Champions League and now he's won the Euros. Now some people say low key he should be a Ballon d'Or contender. I wouldn't go that far, but I did say it about 2-3 months ago. The season was still going, and I was talking about CDM, and somebody said, other than an Ndidi or a Declan Rice, what sort of CDM would you go for? And there was talking about March, April time that Chelsea were looking to get rid of Jorginho to bring in Declan Rice. And I said, I would take Jorginho. And loads of people said to me, you're having a bloody laugh, he's shit. No, we don't want anything to do with him. Now, what have we seen in the last 3 months? People actually look at the job he does. And now, even last night, people were saying, he passes it sideways too much. What games have you been watching? I don't know what you've been watching. Jorginho at Manchester United, if we bought him in, I would be over the moon. He is exactly the reason we need a CDM. And look, there's lots of different CDMs we could buy, but what does Jorginho do? Sits in front of the back four, protects it, takes the ball off the back four and feeds the people in front. This is what United need. It's a specialist. It's the same as a goal scorer in the box or a Varane at the back. A CDM is so important. Michael Carrick did it for a decade, just standing there in front of the back four and running the game and letting everyone else do their job. And I tell you what, we're not going to get Jorginho. That's not what I'm saying. But he would be a massive, massive upgrade on anything that we've got. And that's the sort of player that we need at the club. Mark, I really want the new kit, but with the number of true CDM number on it, how can I get it? Even the false CDMs, Fred, Scott, aren't in the pitch, says Shake. Not buying the kit, but I had a nosy and there's still a Cavani 7 option. Are we confident Sancho is getting 7, or am I reading too much into things, says Joshua Bellwater. I'm taking a CDM over a centre-back, says Goldbridge United. Give the lower shot for a year. Big up the United stand from New Zealand. Big up Goldbridge United there. Thank you very much for the super chat. I don't think Garner's ready, David Martin. I like Garner, and I think he has similar profile to Jorginho, which is what I was saying on Twitter last night, but he's definitely not ready to take that role on yet. Half a season at a mid-table championship club doesn't mean that you can come and play for Manchester United. Ollie wouldn't do it either, as we know with Ollie. I mean, he just wouldn't chuck a player in like that there. In relation to Sancho's number, we're hearing it's going to be number 7. I mean, he is JS7, so we're hearing he's going to get the number 7 shirt. Do you think that's right, by the way? That's something that nobody's actually spoken about. And I think when he's holding the number 7 shirt up, it's not the time to start saying he shouldn't have it because he's got it. But do you think Sancho getting the number 7 shirt is right? If he is going to get it, I've been told he is, and I think a lot of people are expecting it. But do you think it's right that he gets it? There's a mix in there. I mean, Nick says it's wrong. El Matador says no. I mean, wonder why. And CDM and Varane and Ollie has no excuses this season, says PK. I'd agree with you on that. A lot of people saying yes. It's not something to dwell on, in my opinion, says Fantastic F17, which I think is a very, very good point. I mean, I suppose what I would say is that Memphis got it and failed. Di Maria failed. Sanchez was a massive fail. And Cavani's been the best number 7 we've had since Ronaldo. And I think to be the best number 7, you don't really have to do much. But Cavani did quite well. I personally think Sancho should get the number 7 shirt. And listen to me on this one. I think Sancho should get the number 7 shirt because I never agreed with Cavani getting the number 7 shirt. And hear me out on this. When we bought Cavani, I wasn't very happy. I said some silly things. I said I'd rather get Josh King, and I never wanted Josh King. And the reason I did is because I lost my temper on that last day of the transfer window. Because I saw through what United were doing. United were meant to get Sancho and they didn't. So they desperately bought somebody in and then held them up as the number 7 in what was a last minute. It was literally like Christmas Eve. Everywhere's shut. You've forgotten to get your partner a present. You go to the local 24-hour petrol station and you buy them the biggest box of chocolates that they've got. And then you go in and go, this is what I planned all along. And that doesn't mean that box of chocolates ain't bad. In fact, it's a very nice box of chocolates, but it wasn't planned and you're selling it as this big thing. Cavani was never meant to be our number 7. It was meant to be Sancho a year ago. but we messed the deal up. So we desperately brought Cavani in, who no one else was looking at. And if we'd been looking at Cavani, we wouldn't have had to go into bloody quarantine, and we wouldn't have bought him after the bloody Spurs game. So Cavani was a desperation signing by United, and it worked out really well. And we all love it. And look, just give it. Okay. So the signing itself worked out well. But he was never meant to be the number 7. That was not the plan. Sancho was always meant to be the 7. So for me, I think Sancho should get the number 7 shirt, because I don't think Cavani was ever meant to get it anyway. He got it because we were desperate. So I think Sancho should get the number 7. I do think there is a risk attached to it, because there has been plenty of number 7s, Di Maria, Sanchez and Memphis come to mind, that have failed. But I think he's JS7. He's number 7. That's where he's going to play. And yeah, it's an iconic shirt. And there is a part of me thinks that you should earn the shirt. But to be honest with you, I think he'll get it, and I think he should get it. Mark, if Sancho gets 7, I'm done with this club. Ronaldo had to wait a year at Real, so why shouldn't Sancho, says Thomas T. But Cavani didn't wait, Thomas. You know, you can flip it the other way. Cavani didn't wait. He came straight into the club and gave it. So United... Whether United respect the number 7 shirt or not, or use it as a brand thing, which I think they do, I think it's used as a brand. I think it's used as a shirt seller now. I think if you're going to be angry with anybody, be angry with the marketing department, because I think they've turned that number 7 shirt into a shirt seller and made it about business, and instead of history. Cantona, Ronaldo, Beckham, Robson, those number 7 shirts are iconic. We hand it out to new signings now. So I do agree with you. I think it should be earned. It's the most iconic shirt in United's history, and it should be earned. George Best as well. So, it is a massively iconic shirt, but it's become a brand tool. We hand it to everybody. Di Maria, Memphis, Sanchez, Cavani, Sancho. We just give it out. So, it's... I understand why people say you should earn it, but we don't do that. We just hand it out, and I do think that Sancho should get it. I think people are I think people in the chat are misusing my Cavani thing. I do rate Cavani, but I felt that Manchester United were. It was a desperation signing. It was desperation, and people, you need to screw your heads on sometimes and listen to what's being said. I'm not saying that Cavani's a bad player. I think he's fantastic, but it was a desperation signing, and he wasn't meant to get the number 7. He got the number 7 because it was free, and United needed, on the last day of the transfer window, to try and make something seem iconic. So they did. They gave it to Cavani and went, look, here's Cavani. He's our number 7. But it wasn't meant to be him. It was meant to be Sancho. Sancho getting 7, Cavani getting 9, and Martial getting disrespected to Zaditya. Well, United need to be very careful about that. And I said this last night. If they're going to move Martial from 9 again, because whatever... AM9 may not be an obvious thing for you, but that is a brand as well. AM9, Anthony Martial 9. So if they're going to move Martial from 9 again, you're going to piss Martial off. Is it really worth pissing Martial off ahead of a big season when you could just... Cavani's only going to be here for a year. I don't know. They've got to be careful about that. But Martial's not going to go anywhere, is it? And also, just an update on that. Obviously, Marcus Rashford's going to be having surgery, so Martial's going to become more important. The Athletic were talking this morning that Rashford's got to wait till the end of the month to have his operation. Rashford wants the operation, even though there is a chance that there could still be issues after the operation. And there was also discussion that, there may even be further discussion about not having an operation and managing it, but Rashford wants to have the operation. He's got to have the operation. He's got to have it, and it's good to hear that Rashford wants to have it. Because imagine if he doesn't have the operation, and the operation's on his shoulder. Apparently it's going to be keyhole surgery. Apparently he's had this for 8 months, and it affects his running. It certainly affects his 50-50s. You can't be shoulder barging, can you, with a bad shoulder? So, it's probably why his work rate defensively has dropped off a little bit, because physically, he's got to be very, very careful, and he's had it for 8 months. So Rashford apparently wants the injury, but imagine if he... wants the operation. But imagine if he didn't have the operation and he goes into next season and he's struggling again. There's not going to be any sympathy, is there? So he's right to have the operation. And as I've said many times, look, 2-3 months out, when he's got another 15 years of a career, it's nothing. And he's got to get it sorted out. He's got to get it sorted out. And he's been very unlucky. He's been very, very unlucky with injuries, I think, Rashford. Let's not forget, was it 18 months ago? He got the back injury, which is not the shoulder injury. I remember Van Persie talking about that back injury and saying, look, that back injury is a bad injury. Even when you're over it, you still feel it a little bit psychologically because it's a weird injury. It's not like your hamstring or a knee injury where you know you've got to have an operation or recover. When you do things in your back, it's like it's a different type of injury, and you know you sometimes don't feel right afterwards. He's now had a shoulder injury as well. You know, how did he get the shoulder injury? I can't remember how he got the shoulder injury actually, but they're mentioning his ankle as well. This will be an opportunity to figure out what the problem is with his ankle. There was talk that he couldn't even get his trainers on at one point. So he's been carrying a lot, Marcus Rashford, and I think I personally I'm not happy that we're not going to have him because I think he's a massive player for us. But I'm in a footballer's career, you can't just go take 4 months off. There's always something going on. There's a summer tournament, there's a pre-season tour, and then once you hit August till May, there is no time off, is there? It's just relentless. So Marcus Rashford with 3 months off, to me, just take it as that period in your career to sort yourself out. Now, you know, it doesn't mean it won't happen. And McNally's right. He's been carrying injuries for 2 years. But got to try and get himself right because he has had a lot of injuries over the last 2 years. And you don't want to start to become injury prone. And the one thing we know about Marcus Rashford is he'll play through injuries. Welcome to the Members Club, Thomas. Thank you very much for joining. And Nick P says, let's not forget Rashford has a World Cup next year too, and he will want to take a full part in that. Well, he definitely will. Very excited to see Mason Greenwood this season. Crete. What's the Varane news about Dex? So the Varane news, and I'll read it to you now. I said it at the start of the video anyway. The Varane news is this, that Manchester United will sign Raphael Varane. That this is likely to happen in the next few days, that a bid will go in, preparing the bid for him. But it's coming from a tier 1 source in Spain, El Transistor. And they're saying that Raphael Varane is joining Manchester United. United's offer to Real Madrid will arrive in the next few days. And this just verifies what we've been told, which is that Manchester United are very much looking to sign Varane. That Varane wants to come to Manchester United, and personal terms, as Romano has said for a long time, are not a problem. It's now about the bid. I would be a little bit tentative about the bid, I suppose. Yeah, I get why people might be a bit tentative because it's Real Madrid and fax machines and all that stuff. But we bought Di Maria from them. They've only got a year left on their contract with Varane, and they need the money. So 40 million quid. What's that? 50 million euros. Let's get it done. We're winning it all, says Mohamed. We're not. I tell you what, I just want to say this. Beats says Jorginho is not what we need at all. Mate, how can you sit there with your fingers and type Jorginho is not what we need at all? He's just won the Champions League and he's just won the Euros, and we're running around with McFred. Mate, he would take, if McFred is like taking us to second, I think Jorginho would probably win us the title with what we've brought in. We are no good in that centre midfield area. We're no good. We've got nothing good going on at all apart from hard work. Jorginho would definitely take it. I don't want Jorginho. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that type of player would infinitely make us better. And, you know, it's so important that we get a CDM. And I think anybody who thinks that we might win the league this season, you're having a laugh. You're having a laugh if your expectation is that we're going to win the league next season. Because games are won and lost in the midfield. And if we've got no conductor in the midfield, we will still be playing 6 at the back next season because we won't know what to do with the ball. So we'll still have to play counter-attacking football. The only way we're going to start to dominate the opposition is by having a midfielder who can play football. Fred and McTominay just can't play the ball. They can't keep possession. They have to move it side to side, and then we hit a long ball. If you want to be an 80% possession side or a 70% possession side like Man City, everyone's got to be comfortable on the ball, and that starts with your CDM. I used to see it with Carrick all the time. Why do you think that Ollie actually wants some? Why do you think that actually want? Why do you think that actually that? Tabres says, why do you think that Ollie actually wants a midfielder? Well, that's why I was struggling with it because that doesn't make any sense. I don't know whether Ollie wants a midfielder or not. I hope he does But we need somebody who can conduct the game. We need a conductor. We need somebody who takes the ball off the back four and feeds those in front and just stays back and protects the back four. And I don't know who we're looking for, but I really do wish that we would. Any news on Declan Rice? Marad, I think he's on holiday. A verified Lee Grant account on Twitter is impersonating United and pretending to announce Varane. Check your Twitter, says it's Haber. Well, I don't know how to do that. I have seen a few I saw one the other day. It was an Arsenal. It was a verified account, and they changed it all to Arsenal, and they'd announced that Arsenal had sold Smith Rowe, and loads of Arsenal fans fell for it. But thanks everyone for watching. Make sure you smash a like on the video. We will be live at some point today for Jadon Sancho's reaction, and we've got the panel show on tonight at 8 o'clock, so looking forward to that. But I'm thinking it'll be around sort of 5 o'clock today for Sancho. We'll wait and see what happens. But there will be an announcement for Jadon Sancho today. I mean, look, I suppose they could push it to tomorrow, but if you're launching a new kit, then you want to get it done today. Of course you do. Who will be effective in Rashi's position, Martial or Pogba, says Anthony. I think he'll play Pogba on the wing again and pick McFred. That's the one bad thing about Rashford being injured. I don't think he'll put Martial on the left. I think he'll put Pogba on the left and play McFred. But there you go. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll speak to you all in a bit. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner, and smash a like on the video. And of course, do check out Surfshark. So it's 83% off and the first 3 months free. You may as well check it out and try it. Virtual private network where you can surf the internet safely, protect everything, and use different locations if you want to. Use things like Netflix and everything. Check it out. Links in the video description. Dion says TUS Army. Big style. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll speak to you all in a bit.